Today, I'm hoping to convey creative faculty application or something like that. Yeah, how it is important to use your creative faculties, cognition, and hopefully sharpen consciousness, and why it's important to engage creatively and how it can be done possibly from my experience. So, a couple of reasons about why it's so important, and let me start by saying that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So, you want to keep yourself busy with something you like, hopefully, because sometimes you don't control it, and you can also start liking what you do if you don't do what you like consciously by intent. So by finding out why what you're doing matters, and very often a profession chooses you, like it did for me, and I graciously accepted the role. So number one, it's important not to be idle, because when you're too idle, you're vulnerable to bad thoughts, and there's only so much fun you can have. Say that you achieve something and you want to take a break, travel, fun, party. How much of it can you do? After one point, it just becomes so monotonous and not meaningful anymore. So this brings the second idea about why engaging your creative faculties is important. It's important to be useful to others, I believe, and we are not alone. No matter how individualistic I think of myself, it's important to recognize I'm part of something bigger. The very fact that I'm breathing shows that I'm interacting with my environment, and there's no way out of that. So, in different levels of inclusiveness, depending on what you're thinking or where I'm at, there is a sense that I'm part of something bigger, and to meaningfully contribute can bring happiness. And I learned somewhere that happiness is progress, but happiness is also contribution and a sense of being part of something bigger. So these are the two reasons I feel it's important to use your creative faculties, to not be idle and to contribute to something bigger. Now, how it can be done? So one way to engage in creative faculty is by just working with what you're doing and adding value as much as possible to as many people as possible. So, like I mentioned earlier, we don't always choose our profession. I do want to believe that I control my life and I have a say in what I'm doing. All that is true, but very often things are given to you and opportunities present themselves, opportunities that you and I don't completely control. Simple things like market trends. I got my business completely online during COVID, and even though I've been in the online e-learning business for almost 1.5 decades with my gmatcard.com, which I sold for a modest price in 2015 to a Californian and French company in 2 parts. I created original content for the GMAT, practice tests, this thing, that thing. So GMAT was a big part of my life between 2008 and 2013-14. So that's what got me into teaching. But after 2015, after I started teaching tweens and teens and kids, mostly math, but also SAT and standardized tests, I kept trying to find a niche that could benefit from my online work, and it finally happened in 2020 thanks to global situation of COVID. So when opportunities present themselves, I guess intent plays a big role. So just engaging in what you're doing wholly, I feel that can really bring happiness and satisfaction, make you better at what you do. Because the more we do it wholly, our whole self just gets better and better. Just like me making videos. There was a time a few years ago when I kept talking to the camera, kept making videos. Now, thankfully, I'm quite comfortable talking to the camera and hopefully doing something useful. Now, the second thing about how to engage your creative faculties is by studying. Now, formal education is one thing which is great. If no matter how old you are or how young you are, getting another degree or a certification, studying formally in a university, either online or on campus, I believe is a great idea. It's always a good time to study further and to be in a structure, an accredited university with professors, peers. It's fantastic. Nothing beats that experience. And probably, if you have the time and the inclination, it's probably better on campus studying in complete immersion. But it depends on the stages of your life. Like right now, I'm doing an online course, online MSc, Masters of Science in Artificial Intelligence from the University of Leeds, and it's completely online. I'm based in the United Arab Emirates, and Leeds is a university in the UK. But now I'm in my final project, and the very fact that there are professors guiding me and giving my work some structure and sometimes encouragement and telling me what's possible and what's not and how I might have to wait sometimes, it's really rewarding. And as long as I do the hard work and I engage with what is available to me, I feel alive. My creative faculties are engaged and I feel very blessed. The other aspect of studying is just education and not formal from accredited universities. Lots of people, I believe, online teach useful, not just tips or courses, but ongoing state of mind feeding that can just get you to a different place. And that I have to credit well from yesteryears the very, very knowledgeable and innovative Evan Pagan, who back in the day was called David D'Angelo. He made a double your dating product that was available online with a pen name, and this was early 2000, middle 2000s, 2005 I think, when I first came across David D'Angelo, the pen name of Evan Pagan, and his online work. He influenced me a lot in 2010 through his people. I contacted his company, and his coaches encouraged me to make an online product. And in 2010, I made a online product for business school essay applications. And so that was the start of my first YouTube video from 2010 is still online. Very happy about it, that I've had some positive influences, but right now I feel the best bit that gets me motivated, but probably an overused word, gets me to a place where I get, therapy maybe, enough to not need formal intervention. Hopefully. Is Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is great. His Inner Circle and his Arena app has so much content from his 4 decades of experience. I learned so much from it, and probably engaging creative faculty by listening to something like that is putting into action what you learn. And I'm so happy that I'm inclined to do that. I would encourage you to take action in whatever field that you are involved in. Not be idle and engage your creative faculties wholly. Get immersed in what you're doing. And if you have the opportunity, study further formally. Otherwise, from people and online sources that are available to you. God bless you, and I hope to contribute more to your progress.